Yo, what's going on YouTube? Heavy Metal Hotep back at it again with another video for y'all. Hope everybody has had a peaceful, prosperous, and productive day. Now, just before we get started, there's a couple announcements that I want to give y'all. First off, so if you're in the Atlantic City area, my band, well, my friends, Edge of Chaos, will be playing at the Boy Atlantic City. This Friday, November 19th. So there is a cover charge. It's $13. But yeah, a lot of good bands on the bill. A couple of my other friends, they're gonna be there ripping it up as well. Yeah, definitely check Machines of Penalty, 12 Days Straight, and my homies EOC, Edge of Chaos, at the Bore in Atlantic City this Friday, November 19th. Come out, have a great time. It's definitely gonna be a banger, for real, for real. It's always a good time at the Bore. They got some good food too, good food. It's a Cajun barbecue spot. Drink prices are pretty cheap too. So yeah, definitely check it out. So as y'all can see in the title, we're talking about procrastination. And before we get into that, make sure you guys like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, click the bell, turn on post notifications so that way you know when I do go live and you know when I post a video. So we're just going to get right into it. So first off, what is procrastination? And I'm sure most of you guys already have an idea of what it is and what it, might be. Basically, procrastination is having something that you know you're supposed to do, but you basically put it off until, you just put it off, keep putting it off, and keep putting it off. You basically put it off past the time that you should be doing it, or, you're just holding off on it for whatever reason. And it can basically happen by, there's no other way to really explain it, just by being lazy, to be honest. You just say, I'll do it the next day, or I'll do it the next day, and I'll do it the next day, and you never get it done. Basically, you sit there and you have something that needs to happen, or you need to check on, or whatever it is, whatever it is, the thing is that you might need to get done, and you decide you don't really feel like doing it right then and there. So you might say, I'll give it a little time and I'll get to it in X amount of time, and then you end up not doing it all. That's procrastination. And it's detrimental to you trying to achieve your goals just simply because you'll never get anything done. You'll never get anything done at all. You'll just keep putting it off, and then wondering why things aren't happening. Obviously, if you want to achieve your goals, whatever it is that you want to get out of life, you have to go and do things, make things happen. If you understand there's certain steps, certain things that you need to have in place to get to a certain goal or get to a certain next step. Those things are gonna require you to put certain things in place that you're gonna have to basically have these different steps, these different things that you need to take in order to get to the next step or end goal, whatever that may be. And if you're procrastinating on these different steps, honestly, it's detrimental to you achieving your goals, because you're never going to get there because you keep putting all these different things off. Normally these are things that, there are things and ways to combat this. Like, honestly, yeah, in all actuality, there are ways to combat this. Like, just, I would say it can sometimes be just as simple as just saying, screw it. I'm going to go and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just going to get up, do what you need to do, and then that's it. Or like, say if it's something, I don't know, working out, right? A lot of times what I find, if I, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'll get to, like, lifting those weights and, hitting those in a second. Or if I say, if I know, because, like, let's be honest, we don't always feel like working out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like, damn, I would like to just sit here and chill. But at the same time, obviously exercise is important. So what I'll do is in times where I don't feel like doing it, I'll just be like, okay, well, I'll just do it for, I'll just do X amount of reps, right? And then I'll be like, all right, and that's it. And then I'll see how I feel after that. And then that's more appealing to me. And then I go and do it. And then I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to just knock you know, at least do my regular sets and reps at the very least. Whole workout routine. Everything that I normally do. Mind you, I start off with the mindset, I'm going to just do this little bit. So tricking yourself into thinking like, and don't look at it as a trick. Just honestly go in there like say, all right, I'm only going to do this much. Because by the time, I can guarantee you, by the time you actually get in there and do it, and you're in that moment, you're like, well, I guess I'm already done this. I guess I can do a little more. Fine, I'll just do a little more. And then by the time, before you know it, you're at the very least doing what you normally would do that you just, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, just a little while ago, you didn't feel like doing in the first place. And honestly, it's important to think long term about these things. Like, you got to be honest with yourself. You may not feel like doing something right now, right then, in that moment, but you have these different goals that you want to achieve. You have these different things that you want to do. Is this going to be something that's going to benefit you long term? And by long term, I mean any amount of time while you're sitting there wasting time thinking about whether you want to do it or not. Is this going to benefit you long term? Like, if you actually do this thing that you don't really feel like doing or you want to put off, what are the benefits of it afterwards? And I mean, you're going to find that, hey, well, at the very least, you now just got some work knocked out of the way, and you're at the very least that much closer to whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it be the next few steps to a goal, and you're trying to get through step 2 or 3 or whatever, or even step 1. Or if it's just, okay, I need to figure out X amount of things, I'm going to do those things, and each of those are the goals that I want to accomplish this week or today or whatever, whatever it may be. If you're thinking long term and you realize, well, if I do this now, it's still going to benefit me. I mean, it goes right into long-term gratification, and I think that we lack a lot of that in society today. We want everything right now. We want everything instant, because that's just how we kind of have it. There's a lot of different things that we can get a lot quicker, right, even down to just information. Screw talking about all the things that we can get quick and easy, the shit that we don't need super super fast, like just information in general. We've been able to get that quicker than we've in the history of humankind, to be honest. Like, we're able to get that at a far more faster rate than we've ever could have imagined. So long-term gratification and having to wait for things, we've been conditioned to be very impatient. So we don't really think long-term as much anymore, like as much as we probably should. But anyway, you got to think of your future self. I mean, time's perpetually, continuously moving forward, right? Not backwards. So understand that you're going to be at a certain point in time further along than you were before. Think of it that way. Try and follow me on this, because basically what I'm saying is that right here and now, you might not feel like doing this, feel like doing that. You might not. You might want to do something else. But if you think of where you're going to be and the amount of time that's going to take up, whatever it is that you're trying to avoid doing or putting off or procrastinating with, you think about the amount of time that's going to take to do said thing. And even if it's a short amount of time, if you occupy yourself with a few other things, you're going to find that certain task or whatever it is that you had to do to basically get a certain result or get to an end goal or get through a few steps to ultimately an end goal. Once you're done that and you're in that moment that it's done, it's refreshing, and your future self is like, well, I'm glad I decided to not put that off and not procrastinate and actually get this done, because here I am now. I don't have to worry about it, and I could actually do something else. I can actually go to that thing that I wanted to do, that I wanted to put off, that I was putting off for. So, I mean, all in all, you got to understand procrastination and why it's such a bad thing when it comes to achieving your goals and motivation. I mean, at the end of the day, procrastinating obviously is not going to help you, and trust me, I learned that the hard way. Learned that the hard way. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for tonight's episode. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick recap. So what we went over is first understanding what procrastination is, right? And then we're also understanding how it can happen. What causes us to procrastinate in the first place? And it can be different for a lot of people. There's different reasons. I would say the root of it ultimately is laziness, but then we all have different situations and goals we want to achieve. So there can be a little bit of variables in there as well. Either way, you want to figure out why it's happening, how it's happening, what is it in the first place. You also understand why it's a bad thing. If you understand why it's a bad thing, you're going to be more likely to want to avoid it. Once you understand what it can actually do to you when you're trying to achieve a certain thing or you're trying to just accomplish a certain goal. You want to understand why it happens. You want to understand how you can fight that. What are these different measures that you could possibly take to um, not have this feel so appealing, not have this look so appealing to you, and something that's more enticing to just put it off till later. Try to start thinking long term, and understanding what long term gratification is, because I think that is key into when it comes to procrastination. It's key because you're understanding, hey, this isn't, I'm not getting um, the benefits that I'm trying to go for right now. I'm not getting those right now, but I will in the long term. So I need to keep on doing what I'm doing if I want to get to that end goal in the future, long term. You're going to be less likely to want to procrastinate, put these things off, because you're thinking like, listen, if I do this, I'm just going to have to wait longer to get to my end goal. And you already don't want to wait, right? You already don't want to wait, for certain things to come and for certain good things to happen. So if you understand that, why are you going to make yourself wait longer by procrastinating when things that you need to get done to get to your end goal? Makes sense, right? And you also want to think of your future self. You want to think of how your future self is going to thank you and how you're going to be in that moment. Not thinking of yourself as your future self. At that point, it's your current self, because you're obviously, again, we're moving forward in time, never backwards. So you want to understand that you're gonna be in that moment realizing, oh well, I'm glad I took care of this now, because now I get to enjoy the rest of my day, or now I get to move on to the next task, something else that I have to get done. All those things are definitely super important when it comes to achieving your goals, and making sure that they you see them through. So that's going to be it for tonight's episode. And I just want to remind you guys to make sure that you guys share the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. I should, yeah. And also, once again, some good friends of mine, Edgecast, they're going to be playing at the Bore Atlantic City, November 19th. Make sure that you guys come out to that if you're in the area. As far as I know, the cover chart's going to be $13. And yeah, great atmosphere. There's going to be a lot of other good bands playing. Delusion of Grandeur, 12 Days Straight, Machines of Penalty. Yeah, a lot of good bands in the bill. It's going to be a great time. And yeah, go there, hang out, chill, listen to some awesome music, have a bite to eat, some good food. I don't know about you, but I like I like barbecue in general. So of course, I'm gonna probably like Cajun barbecue as well. Yeah, I like to have a drink every once in a while. Got some nice menu items. So yeah, definitely go and check all that out. Have a good time. Trust me, y'all don't want to miss out on that. So without further ado, that's gonna be it. I hope everybody is gonna have a peaceful, prosperous, and productive day tomorrow as well. And yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight's episode. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Hotep.